today's video, I'm going to teach you guys how to take the hood off, and the main objective after that is actually to get the radiator out, because my current radiator is leaking and I want to swap out for another one. And so I laid these blankets out here, so should anything go bad, none of the paint will get damaged. I'm sure many of you guys want to protect your paint. And in order to take this hood off, we're actually going to take out these two bolts on this side and the corresponding two bolts on that side. They are all 1/2 inch, and we're also going to take out this bolt right here. And to help reach it, actually, if you use your shoulder and you lift it up, it will give you more access to reach the bolt over there, and you and your helper can take it out at the same time. So some of us don't actually have anybody to help us take off the hood, and my friends were a little bit late today, so I decided to give it a crack myself, and I actually managed to get the hood out myself. And the key to doing this was taking out one bolt at a time on each side, and I put this jack stand here as a support to hold it on this side while I was unbolting the other side, and it worked out pretty well. And of course I covered it to make sure there was no scratches, and that definitely helped. Alright, so I realized that I was continuing to work and I wasn't recording anything. It is just me here, so I forgot. And alright, so anyway, I'm actually making a lot of progress in getting the shroud out, right? And the reason I took out the hood is because I wanted to loosen this support. I wanted to make room for this support, right? And in order to loosen this support right here, there's actually 3 bolts on each side. And the best way to reach them is you gotta tilt the wheel all the way to the side, right? Here is one bolt, here is the second, and the third is right down over there, okay? These are also 1/2 inch bolts, and you're probably going to want to spray copious amounts of PB Blast in order to get them out. Now, once I got those out, this will wiggle. Now, right now, it's all the way up, so it's not going to wiggle right now, and plus I push this up too. But once it's all the way up, you have enough room to negotiate either taking the shroud out, or if you're really good with your hands, you might be able to just take the radiator out on its own. But I'm going to remove the shroud first, and then I think it'll be easier for me to take the radiator out. Because the next step in order to take the radiator out is I'm supposed to remove the automatic transmission line over there. And I'd rather have the room once I take the shroud out. And you should be able to pull it out just like that. You're going to have to pull it on one side, go to the other side, pull it some more, and it will come out. Okay, so now we got the shroud out. I'm sure some of you are watching this for the magical way to get the shroud out, because it is a pain in the ass. And like I said, all it was is once I loosened those 2 bolts over there and I removed the hood, there was room to push this back, and I removed the support brackets, of course. There was room to push this back, there's room to push the radiator back, and after taking out, of course, that line over there, there was enough room to just pull it out. Is it necessary to pull out the shroud? Honestly, I'm not sure. I think it's actually possible. You could just take the radiator out with the space that was created. But I wanted to do it this way to show you guys how to get the shroud out. And now on to the automatic transmission line. Alright guys, now I just wanted to give a quick update because there was a lower transmission cooler line too. And it's quite rusty, as you can see. So I realized that it's probably not feasible for me to realistically take it out where it is, right? So instead of taking out that, I actually just took out the hose where it leads to. And it should still come out fine after that. And that hose is pretty messed up. Probably going to change that too some other time. But after taking out this and the lower one, now it's just the upper transmission line. And I'm probably going to do the same thing. I'm probably going to remove it from one of the hoses, from either this clamp over here or that clamp over there. So unfortunately, I couldn't record some parts in the middle of the video, but I did end up draining the radiator, and here's the brand new radiator. It's already installed, right? We put this hose back on, we put the new cooler line, and we put the other line down here on, and then we put the last transmission cooler line on as well, and the upper radiator. Taking out the shroud was much easier because this new radiator, which I got on eBay for about 125 bucks or something like that, is smaller than the last one. So it fit in pretty nicely, and now we're just going to bolt up the supports including those 6 bolts that were right here in the wheel well. Remember earlier I mentioned, and then we're gonna try to get the hood back on. Guys, so this last part of the video, we got the hood back on, and it looks like this job is complete. Now, we got the brackets back on, the radiator support's nice and tight, the shroud is back on, the fan's back on, everything's good to go. Now, when we started the car, it actually started really good for the first few seconds, and then after a few seconds went phew, and we looked down and there was a leakage of automatic transmission fluid, and that's because one of the hoses that I took off, I didn't tighten it enough when I put it back on. So it's very important when you're changing out this radiator, when you're tightening everything, that you tighten it real well, because you don't want any air going in there. You want it to be tight, because this is a pressurized system after all. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. I'll answer as soon as I